Week of spring football is here. Boy, do we have a perfect spring night. We've had a couple of cold winter shows. JJ, I know you're happy you're back in the short sleeves. And we have another week of spring practice to go. How quickly time flies. The fans have 3 more chances to catch the Trojans this week. Tuesday and Thursday, 3:15. Practice will start on Howard Jones, and then Saturday at noon on the track. Tonight we're going to recap what's happened over the last month of practices with the head coach Clay Helton and a couple returning stars in Tyler Vaughns and Porter Gustin. Plus, we'll preview the Pac-12 Men's Golf Championships, with USC is hosting with their star Justin Suh, the number 2 golfer in the country, and the head coach Chris Zambri. I'm Jordan Moore alongside John Jackson. JJ, we're joined now by the head coach. Let's get right to him. Brought to you by Cooper Tires. Cooper Tires knows that the 4 tires in your vehicle are what connect you to the road and help keep you safe. Count on Cooper and visit coopertires.com today. Coach, thank you as always for joining us. 12 practices in, 3 to go. What's been your biggest takeaway so far this spring?
Just our progression and development. I think most importantly, probably offensively, over the last scrimmage last Saturday was a very important day for us to be able to just put the ball down and play some real live football, referees, and just see where we were, and to be able to come away and really feel confident in our offensive line, to feel confident to physical runners in Said and Vi, and see the quarterbacks operate and function and have a good day makes you sleep well as a head coach. Consistency has been the name of the game for our defense. I think they've just had a phenomenal spring. You can tell they're in the 3rd year of the system, the communication, and you can tell it's an older bunch. When you have a Porter and a Cam and a Marvell Tell and a Jana Harrison and Biggie Marshall, and all these guys have played so much football for us and then been in this system with the same terminology for 3 years. It's just been a level of consistency and the standard that they've set for themselves. So it's been a really good spring. We got 3 left. We've had no major injuries, knock on wood, and hopefully we'll get a lot out of this week going into our spring game.
Let's start on the defensive side. I've really been impressed with the way the defense is playing. As you mentioned, they're experienced now, so somewhat of an expectation. But one guy who is been an expectation in terms of playing well in Porter Gustin, the expectations are high for him, obviously, because he's a veteran guy. But I think he's, watching him this year, more of a vocal leader, which is sort of surprising. Talk to us about that part of him.
No, he's been such a great older brother to the younger teammates of his, and to have him back, he is just automatically filled the role where Uchenna Nwosu had that. I remember Stevie Tuigolovatu had it 2 years ago. Then it was Uchenna, and now it's Porter, and right there with the sidebar with Cam, and they're kind of our vocal leaders right now on that defensive front, and have really led the way. And it's so neat to be able to see a Porter go take a Hunter Eccles or a Giuliano Fineco and be able to teach them. I mean, he's not only playing at the highest level I've seen him play at, but he's like having an extra coach out there right now, and it's really neat to see going into his senior year him break out of his shell, not just be a football player, but really be a leader and a mentor to some younger kids.
Is that one of the things that you go and address with him maybe in the offseason prior to spring? And I know you sit down with the players one-on-one and have those talks. Was that one of the talks for him, and has he responded to that talk, if so?
No question. I got the opportunity to meet with all 188 souls within our organization prior to spring ball, and each one of our players, and kind of said, hey, this is where you're at. These are your strengths. These are your areas of opportunity for growth. And that was one for Porter, to be more vocal. He's always led the way by example, but he has so much respect on our football team that now he's being vocal. And he's not demeaning or yelling. He's more teaching. I'll be honest with you. He's like, "Come here, Hunter, and let me show you how to do this." And it's special to see. We talk brotherhood and family. Almost, they make fun of me. I say it so much, but it's so neat to be able to see a bunch of older guys really helping our younger players develop, because we're going to need them.
Yeah, but just staying in that defensive front 7, the only concern, I had looking at what you lost compared to what you bring back is you lost a lot of production in terms of pass rush and tackles for loss. I mean, you talk about Uchenna, but also Rasheem Green right there. Chris Hawkins made a lot of plays in the backfield. You lose Josh Fatu, who made some plays in the backfield. it doesn't seem like that much of a problem, though, watching spring football. That seems like something that's been pretty readily addressed.
Yes, I think when you look at what Porter, having a Porter Gustin back, which we had lost last season, to see Jordan Iosefa even take a bigger role, you saw how well he did in the second half of the season. He's kind of taken over Uchenna's role off that edge, but also with our established, or what we call our nickel package, the ability to move a Christian Rector outside, a Connor Murphy outside to pass rush positions on third downs and 2-minute situations has really helped us in our pass rush area too. So I think Clancy was extremely brilliant in making that schematic change and adding that to the system. But also, it's been neat to be able to see some younger players develop and really grow, and now it's their turn.
Interesting storyline for me to follow throughout this is even going back to last year, is you had a lot of NFL potential juniors that had the opportunity to either go to the pros or else to come back. A couple of them obviously have gone and left, and we're going to miss them obviously. But when a guy comes back and they sort of had the expectation maybe to go, and I'm talking about Biggie Marshall here, in terms of having the expectation to go, and then now he comes back and then he responds the way that he has. He has, to me, been a big difference maker in terms of the way he's looked and taken the approach to this year.
I tell you what, you think about, we filed evaluations on 10 kids, and 4 of them made a great decision for themselves and moved on, and 6 of them stayed and invested in themselves. And to see what Biggie is doing, one of the talks that we had was, hey, if we're coming back, let's challenge ourselves to be the best corner in the country. Not the best corner on the team, but the best corner in the country. That means the way you take care of your body, the way you train, the knowledge that you gather from Ronnie and Clancy, the way you compete on a day-to-day basis. And he is just I don't know of a kid that may be performing at a higher level than him right now. And the way he's competing like a freshman trying with a chip on his shoulder right now, which is really, really neat to see. And he's really making a great investment in himself, and it's special to see.
We appreciate our Facebook Live audience tuning in. You're listening to USC head coach Clay Helton on Trojans Live. I want to get to as many of their questions as possible, and obviously many of them that are being asked revolve around the quarterback battle. That was the number one storyline going into spring. Seems like there have been some ups and downs. How do you assess them at this point with 3 practices to go?
Progress, and not where we want to be yet. I think all the kids here, whether it's Matt, whether it's Jack, whether it's Holden, really see it as an education process, and that's what we talked about going into spring. That yes, we evaluate you all the time, and we try to get better, but really I want to educate you. None of us have had a lot of reps in games, so let's see how good we can get from practice 1 to practice 15, and there has been progress. A matter of fact, last Saturday was the best practice that they had the entire spring, and it was evident. I mean, quick decision making, the timing was incredible, and their accuracy, even down the field, which had been missing earlier, really was on point in that practice. So it was good to see in a very live atmosphere with fans around and a great crowd around to be able to watch them perform and do well.
All right, we're counting down to kickoff with Mito. Swiss watches since 1918, the official timekeeper of USC Athletics. And I wish kickoff were coming soon. I wish we were counting down like 6 days till kickoff, but we've got a little ways here. Be the first to own the Fight On limited edition timepiece. True Trojan fans, visit shopmito.com/USC. That's shopmito, MIDO.com/USC. All right, we got another segment with the head coach, so keep firing those questions in. We'll talk about some offense next, as USC has 3 practices left this spring. You're listening to Trojans Live.